I can get there we go. So here at the SBDC, we exist to train, educate, and support entrepreneurs of both new, pre-venture, and established small businesses. And we're positioned within the nationwide network of SBDCs. And we offer resources, key connections at the state and national level, workshops such as this, and online and in-person support that equips us to help Ocean State entrepreneurs reach new level of growth. So if you have any area of your business that you need some help, this is where I always do my plug on our counselors. We have incredibly smart people here in every area of business. So I encourage you to reach out and get connected if you need help in any area of your business. Beyond marketing, I'm just one small branch of what we do. We also offer a wide array of business services. So please reach out if you need any help. We have some really great, smart, talented people here to help you. So who is this for? This workshop is for small businesses. Shopify is great for small businesses when you want to start to sell online. It's easy to use and it's super affordable, and it offers a wide range of features to help you sell online. It's also great for beginners if you want to start an online business. There are so many resources available to help you get started. I did link at the very end of this presentation to Shopify's Learning Center. They have a ton of free trainings, videos, written stuff, their YouTube channel. It's very beginner friendly. This is also great for businesses that are looking to scale because it has so many built-in features. It really can help scale your business and take it to the next level. Shopify is also great for drop shipping businesses. And this is a model where you do not keep any inventory, but they will order directly through your online store. And then the supplier will be the one to ship directly to your customer. Shopify does a great job with drop shipping. It has tons of integrations with lots of well-recognized drop shipping suppliers. So what is Shopify? It's a subscription-based software. So this enables business owners to create and launch an online store without a need for a developer. While other e-commerce platforms can be free, such as integrating WooCommerce with WordPress, there are often fees associated with plugins, and then your SSL, which are your security certificates, and hosting. And then one thing that I always say is when you use a platform like WooCommerce integrated with WordPress, is that you're always adding plugins, and then sometimes too many plugins can kind of mess up the system. The reason I love Shopify so much is because it really is an all-in-one platform and everything is integrated and there's not a need. Now, both the WooCommerce, Magento is another one, and Shopify, most of these building platforms, Squarespace is another one, but they do have free and paid templates. The templates in Shopify are exclusively or specifically made for e-commerce. So it's easier to comb through them because they are all e-commerce geared. So I just found this really great chart online, and it's linked there if you want to read more about the pros and cons of each. But basically, WooCommerce is a plugin that you add on to WordPress. And the plugin is actual free, but some of the features need to be paid for. And then Magento is more open source, but if you have enterprise level, it can be pretty expensive. The basic plan for Shopify starts at $29 all the way up to $299 for the super premium plans. It really depends on the need of your business and what stage of growth you're in. And you can see that when you're looking and deciding, you're looking at the level of difficulty to learn and implement, right? If you don't have a developer on hand or somebody that can develop and customize pages for you, it can be very difficult to use a WooCommerce or a Magento. And then you're also looking for flexibilities. I like to find and test different checkout pages, different processes along the way, and Shopify makes that very easy to do. You're also able to scale, the scalability. You always want to be forward thinking in your business, and you don't want to set yourself up on a platform that when you reach capacity, then migrating becomes a big deal. And then also you want to look at security, right? How secure is your website? And you want to think about when you have users come to your website, do they feel safe checking out on your website? And does your website give those signals that if they enter their credit card information, that it's going to be stored securely? Why Shopify? So first of all, it is probably one of the easiest platforms to use, not only because they have super e-commerce friendly templates, but also because everything from your homepage, your individual product pages, your checkout and your thank you pages, what we call the customer journey, all of those can be optimized and built seamlessly, and they integrate very nicely with each other. And this can be a catalyst in how well your e-commerce site converts, right? Like if you think about when you're purchasing online and you're going through a seamless transaction, how your buyer certainty goes up versus clicking on a website and going through the buyer's journey and it doesn't feel very secure. It feels a little bit janky and nothing makes sense. That can lead to having some conversion loss. So having a system in place that does all of that for you and builds it out and integrates it nicely goes a long way. Also, the features. Shopify has some of the best features for running an e-commerce business. It really is an all-in-one platform. It takes care of your product management, your shipping and fulfillment, your payments. It also has a pretty great backend with marketing analytics. And then they have an active app store, which you can add all kinds of add-on features to your e-commerce store, depending on what you're looking for. For example, if you have a clothing business, there are add-ons that or apps that you can add to your store for like sizing. There's all kinds of different things you can add to your website, and it's all in one. So you're not going to the free market looking for plugins that would work best with your website. Shopify hosts all of them for you to easily add on. We did speak very quickly about security, but included in all Shopify sites is the SSL encryption. And this is to protect your customer data. That means everything that is transmitted from your store to your customer is all encrypted. That makes it really hard for hackers to intercept. And typically, if you are self-hosting, you have to pay for this SSL certificate to add that onto your website to keep it secure. They also have PCI compliance, which means when people are entering their credit card information, the process of storing and processing that credit card data has an extra level of security. And then two-factor authentication. This is pretty standard. You can enable this on any platform you're using. I always recommend, no matter what platform you're using, even if, you know, I'm talking like everything, like your email, your social media, your banking, everything, always enter two-factor authentication because it is hard to crack for someone and it's very hard to hack. So I recommend doing two-factor authentication for everything. Shopify has great built-in tools to help you boost sales. So it's SEO friendly. So as more websites catch on, they are enabling SEO features, which allow you to enter in like your customizable H1, your title, and all of that. Shopify has been doing this for a long time. When they came out, they were very aware that they needed to be marketing driven. And so they've always had this capability. So typically there's back-end SEO already built in, and they automatically generate a sitemap and the robot text files. And this is great for being findable or searchable online on Google. So when you submit your sitemap and your robot text files to Google, that tells them that you want your site to be crawled or searched, which allows you to be shown in the site search results. Shopify automatically does that for you. Other platforms, you have to generate your own and submit it to Google separately. They also offer integration for SEO-friendly product reviews, which is very nice. They have some built-in marketing tools that typically you would have to pay for outside of your platform. One of my favorite ones is their email marketing platform. You're able to do your newsletters and your emails right through Shopify. You're also able to directly link your Shopify store to all shoppable places pretty much online. That's beyond Facebook and Instagram. You're able to do that with Google. You're able to do it on YouTube. You're able to do it with Walmart and Amazon as well. So if you sell a product that's available on that you want to sell on all those platforms, Shopify does a nice job of allowing you to integrate that right from the beginning. And then it also has some built-in analytics and success tracking of your campaigns. Have you ever been on a website where you're buying online and you're shopping, and then it recommends a product where it's like, oh, if you like this, you'll also like that, where you're upselling and cross-selling? Shopify has really simplified this process to allow you to cross-sell and upsell. So it will help you by having built-in product recommendation to help you suggest related products to your customers. It also allows you to have very easy one-click upsell options. For example, if you sell a nail system to do press-on nails, and then you also want to add on tools to help people set those nails, you could have a one-click upsell that's like, oh, I see you bought this nail kit. Would you like this supplemental thing? So those upsells can really boost your average order value, which at the end of the day boosts your profitability. It also allows you to easily bundle products together. So that way, if you have similar products that would work together in a bundle, it can make that recommendation for you and help cross-sell those products. It also has abandoned cart recovery. Now, typically, if you have abandoned cart recovery, you are paying a different provider in order to do this. But Shopify automatically tracks and emails customers when they leave something in your cart. How many of you have ever begun to purchase something and then you get the email reminder and you're like, what is going on? That is abandoned cart recovery. And you're able to customize the timing of this. So if you're saying like, you want to give people 30 minutes to come back, and if they don't, you can send them an email. You can also customize that messaging. There's also a component of built-in analytics to track the success of these. So if you're seeing that 30% of people who've abandoned their cart are coming back and purchasing, you're able to look at those. You're able to look at those numbers. And these tools are powerful to help you. To really help you like with the full funnel marketing system, because we know that people will add a ton of stuff to cart and then abandon, they'll get sidetracked, they'll get distracted. And having these tools in place to remind people to come back to complete their purchase can really boost your bottom line. Multi-channel selling. So this is one of the things that's really cool about Shopify, is that you're able to have one website yet have placements, multiple placements online, right? So typically if you have, say, a Squarespace website and you wanna like sell on Amazon, then you have to list your product separately. And then, or if you wanna be on eBay or Walmart, each one has their own like commerce feed. With Shopify, everything is integrated. So you basically select what channels you would like to market in, and then you're able to seamlessly integrate, and then it will keep track of your inventory across all of those platforms. So that way you're not managing inventory and making sure everything's aligned so that you don't ever run out of stock. If something sells on Amazon, then it won't sells out on Amazon. It's not going to show as available in your Shopify store anymore. And this makes it really easy because you can sell on Amazon, Walmart, Facebook, Instagram. Like you can have one Shopify store and have an omnipresence online. And then that synchronization of your inventory makes it so much easier to manage, because it's doing everything for you on the back end. As soon as something sells on one of these platforms, it removes it from your Shopify inventory, and then you're not worrying about that anymore. So you have that one-stop shop. You're able to grow your audience and run your business from a single place. One of the things with being a business owner is sometimes it can be so overwhelming to manage all these different platforms, right? So like if you're managing your Amazon feed and your Walmart feed and then your Instagram, and then it becomes overwhelming, and you're not necessarily a marketer, right? Like you're a business owner or you're creating these products, and then having all of these different platforms can be incredibly overwhelming. That's one of the biggest reasons I love Shopify, is because it really is a one-stop shop and you can manage multiple commerce platforms right within your Shopify backend. So you're able to sync on Walmart Marketplace. Have you ever noticed, for those of you who shop on Walmart, when you type in something you want to buy in Walmart, underneath will pop up all of these vendors that aren't in-store Walmart products, but will ship from, or look like they ship from Walmart, but you're able to buy products all a different, like not just available in the Walmart inventory. That's Walmart Marketplace. And it's pretty easy to sync. You just add that marketplace to your store, and then you're able to have your product show up in those feeds. Same thing for YouTube. If you've ever watched a YouTube video and you see a product appear on the banner on the bottom of a video, and you're like, how do you get your ads there? How do you know? How do they know where to put your ads? Shopify makes it super easy to be able to integrate with YouTube. TikTok. I know this is a hot topic right now. A lot of people are selling on TikTok, and TikTok has one of the most seamless checkout systems. So they make it super easy to buy online. It's even easier to buy than it is on social media, which is wild because it's super easy to buy something on Instagram. But TikTok makes that even easier. Also, Meta, you're able to integrate all your social media with Facebook and Instagram, the Meta owned products. It's super easy when your people are looking at a story or a post and they see a product, they're able just to click on it and then purchase directly from social media. Same with Google. Your Google shopping ads can be easily placed without having to add an additional platform to your daily check-ins. Another nice thing about Shopify is their payment methods. So they have a super seamless checkout experience, and this is true again across all of the platforms that they integrate with. So they have a wide range of payment options. Have you ever begun to check out something in the thing, and then you're like going through and you're like, oh my goodness, I don't have my credit card with me. So two things will happen. One, if they leave, they'll get that abandoned cart recovery email, but also people have the option to just pay digitally with their digital wallets, PayPal, Amazon Pay, Apple Pay. They also have buy now, pay later. And these are the Afterpay, Klarna, Shop Pay, and I believe they also do Affinity. And this is at no risk to you because you get paid. This is a contract between the customer and these credit companies. So you still get your payment. And then if they fail to pay, then these companies deal directly with them. But what's nice is that they have the opportunity to pay all different ways. You'll notice that a ton of people, if they're like sitting on their couch purchasing and they have to get up and find their wallet to get their credit card, you might lose a sale. But offering these other options where people can just double click and pay, it really makes that checkout more seamless, and it does directly affect conversions. The more opportunities or ways you have for someone to pay, and the ease of payment, the more likely they are to just make the purchase. They also have a robust analytics and reporting system. They have real-time reporting. So if you log on the back end of your Shopify, you can see how many people are on your website, how many people are on each page. It's live. They also have great customer behavior analytics. You can tell, what they're looking at, how they're navigating your site. what they're spending time on. And you're also able to export reports and have scheduled reports pretty easily in Shopify. They also have channel sourcing. So that gives you an opportunity to know what channels are driving the most traffic to your website. They also have pretty good SEO reporting, so you can look at your keywords and your search rankings. And they also are able to measure the ROI and effectiveness of your marketing. They could also give you the average order value. They could give you the time between someone visiting your website and purchasing. They have a very robust backend. And typically, and even if you use Shopify, I always recommend you add Google Analytics to the backend. But of all of the website building platforms, Shopify has the most robust backend analytics. If I was to ask someone on WooCommerce to find their abandoned cart and the recovery and how people are coming to your website, you just wouldn't be able to do it. Or it would take you a very, very, very long time. So you're able to get access to information much faster with Shopify than you are with any other platform. And that's really the key to having successful marketing. If you know what's working, you're able to work on that. When you know what's not working, you know what you need to improve. And finding that information on other platforms is very, very difficult. You also have in-depth product and inventory insights. You're able to discover what's selling the best right now and what are people viewing but not purchasing, right? Like if you're making inventory decisions and you see a ton of people are landing on one product, but they're not buying, maybe that's not something you keep in stock much longer. On the contrary, if you notice people a certain product is converting at a higher level, that might be something you want to adjust your inventory to keep up with demand. You're able to track your stock levels, your sell-through rates, and it also will give you triggers and when you need to restock. They also will break down everything by product variant. And this is great if you work with the SKU-based business. So if you have, for example, if you have a product that has multiple SKUs, you'll be able to see what's selling and what's not. And then you'll be able to understand the variant levels and help manage your inventory based on that. And they have very comprehensive analytics, and it really does help you make data-driven decisions, because if you know specifically what SKU is running out faster or which one is a little bit slower, you're able to make decisions based on that versus having to do that manually. They also have a built-in CRM, which is where you can create customer profiles, and then you're able to go in and understand their buying habits, their order history, and their contact information. It also has a capability to do some automatic segmentation. So it'll segment customers based on location, purchase history, and you can go in and select how you want to segment your audiences. They also have email marketing, where you could go in and create personalized emails directly from Shopify. And then you're able to use that segmented data to make marketing campaigns. For example, if you have people who were sent that abandoned cart email, but they didn't go back and purchase, you could then email the people or send an ad to the people who didn't act on that email. And then that way you're not sending ads and spending money on people who already converted. You'll be able to segment and say, I only want to send ads to people who visited the website, added it to the cart, received that abandoned cart recovery email, and still didn't make a purchase. So you can be very strategic about how you're investing your money and your marketing efforts in your business. So to get started is pretty simple, but before you do, you have to make sure you understand your business goals. You want to ask yourself some basic questions like, are you selling exclusively online, or are you going to have a hybrid model where you're able to also sell in person if you have a brick and mortar? Also, are you going to do drop shipping? Are you going to sell through alternative channels, right? So are you going to include some Amazon and Walmart and Facebook and Instagram? And it may not be appropriate for every business to sell on those channels, but when you make those decisions up front, it is much easier to get the website going from the beginning and doing it the right way versus going in, getting it set up, and then going back and having to make changes. And this could just help you focus your intention, and you help speed up your setup process. And then on every single page I found on Shopify, on getting started and having a successful business, every page at the top had a disclaimer to consult with your local expert about tax laws and business entities. So I just want to put that out there. even though like Shopify does make all of this super simple, you still have to have your basic business stuff in place. So I just wanted to add that disclaimer. And then you want to get organized. So this is a very simple to-do list. The next slide will have a more in-depth one, but basically you just want to set up your Shopify account. They do have a free version, but the free version isn't for very long. I want to say it's only a few days. It might be a week. Customize your store design, add and manage your products, and then set up your domain. So every Shopify comes with a free domain where it's like yourbusiness.shopify.com, and you can use that across the web. However, I do recommend getting a custom domain. So it'll be www.yourbusiness.com. So you want to get that set up. You want to set up all of your payment gateway and shipping options. And then you want to begin to market your products and then monitor performance with your robust analytics. And then you optimize. That's the simple growth strategy for getting started. However, Shopify does have a very detailed step-by-step in like checklist to get going. And it is linked here. And they are very, very specific. And each of these are linked out. So you could go and read how to do each step of the process. So in conclusion, one thing that separates e-commerce from other platforms is that you don't need any technical knowledge to have a really great, fully integrated, fully marketing functional site. And there is hundreds of free templates you can use. You're also able to purchase templates. And then you do have the availability or ability rather to have somebody custom design a site. So you're not locked into templates. They also have extensive training and they have a great blog. They have a great help center and their YouTube channel is very robust. And now when people are considering like, when would it make sense to do Shopify versus one of the other platforms? I always recommend people start with Shopify unless you have developers on hand that can fully customize your website and they are available to you to make changes and updates constantly. So when you have some of the other platforms like the WooCommerce with the WordPress, there are constantly updates that have to be made and you have to go in and do those. So if you don't have someone to do those for you constantly and always optimizing, it makes sense to invest the $29 to get started on a Shopify site. So if you think about, how many sales you would need to make a month in order to justify spending $30 or $29 a month on a Shopify versus getting started free, it really depends on like what your level of like startup bootstrap is. But I always recommend if you could do it the right way the first time and not have to migrate, Shopify really is the easiest platform to use, which is why I always, whenever somebody reaches out and they mention e-commerce, the first word out of my mouth is Shopify, because it really is so easy and so fully integrated. You don't have to piecemeal things. You don't have to have a separate analytics and a separate marketing and a separate inventory management. It's all in one. So I do recommend it if you're getting started, and they also have great resources on migrating. So if you have a site somewhere else and the backend is driving you crazy and you can't add pages in the checkout process and you have no insight, I would recommend looking into migrating. So that could be a big project depending on how many products you have, but they do have great resources on that. So this is a clickable, this document, when it's sent to you, all of these are clickable where you're able to go through and click on everything and dig in deeper on any of these topics that you want to learn more about. Questions? Okay, I see a question about taxes. That is a question for not me. So either like an attorney or a tax CPA. I don't have any insight or feedback on how much you should be saving for your taxes. That's a question for, I don't even know, is that your CPA or is that probably your CPA? Okay, one-to-one setup. So Jessica, if you reach out to Elena, she can connect us and then I won't do the one-to-one setup for you, but you can screen share and then I can walk you through that. And typically for those calls, we do like a little bit of a longer call. So that way we're not, because typically a first introductory call is about an hour. if you're going to screen share and we're going to walk through like a setup of something,